Hi, everybody. It's Tuesday. Let's talk about it. I'm here in studio with Michael.
Hello.
Hi. We're 6 feet apart. I know last week when we did our talk about it, walking from the metro to the studio, it was amazing, but you couldn't hear me because I had my mask on and I wasn't right at the microphone. So now we're the proper distance apart and I'm going to take my mask off so that you can hear me. I also have a microphone.
So Jen, what are we talking about today?
Well, that's feedback, right? Like the feedback that came from, we couldn't hear you last week and we wanted to hear you. So feedback is so important. Feedback is very important. Sitting with feedback, hearing what other people think about what you do professionally is a very important part of our process of getting better here at BYA. So today I'm going to read some feedback that we've gotten.
So Jen, I printed out some feedback from the recent months. Maybe a little bit further back, we've got some positive feedback.
Yep.
And we've got some constructive feedback.
We've got some constructive feedback.
I don't know. Have you really read through all of it?
No, I haven't read it. I mean, I would have said negative because that's what it says in front of me. But negative feedback is constructive criticism. Yeah. So we got some constructive criticism on what we're doing here at BYA and how we're doing it. And so I'm going to start with the constructive stuff. And I've read through it to see like what the numbers were, but I didn't really read the actual feedback. So I'm going to read it with you for the first time. So we'll start with the first one. We got a 3.
3 stars out of
We got
5.
3 out of 5 stars. So I'm going to let you know what the rating is first, and then I'll read it what they say. Okay, class was very challenging. Score would be higher if it were easier to get in one. They fill up too fast. Maybe that will improve post-pandemic. So yeah, maybe that will improve post-pandemic. It's exciting that people fill up class and want to get in. And that is negative if you can't get into a class, but yoga helps build determination and patience. So just keep trying to get in. And thank you for your patience with us. We can only increase when Virginia governor says that we can increase, but hopefully when we can increase, even more people will want to come and it'll still be hard to get into class because we want people to do yoga. Now we got a 2. This is a 2 out of 5. The teacher was awesome and did a great job interacting with us at home, but the camera placement was not great for me. So this is from somebody who was practicing at home. I'd much rather see the instructor's face or at least be closer to the instructor. Also, I felt like I was on the outside of the room looking in. I chose a live stream class so I could feel a part of something, and the camera placement made me feel like I was on the outside looking into the class. So this is great feedback. We know now during quarantine and post-quarantine pandemic times that people are nervous about returning to our studios because it's going out of your home and it does increase the risk factors, but we are keeping our studios very clean. But choosing to stay home is great because we have this virtual option. And I will tell you that this is really good feedback. We want you to feel like you're part of the class. We don't want you to feel like you're the outside looking in, but the room is hot and the camera doesn't like it. So the camera does have to be on the outside of the room. And, we shared this kind of feedback with teachers continuously to help them to, welcome the people at home into the classroom. So this is very important feedback. And I think you'll see, like, as we move forward and we talk about it, how we do take stuff like that seriously. The next one is a 2. This is a meaty one. This continues on the next page. My cousin and I were looking forward to trying yoga because we had never done it. However, I felt that the class was for people who had prior yoga experience. That's interesting. And therefore, it was too difficult for people new to yoga training. My cousin Janine, I'm not going to say the last name, became overheated in the first 10 minutes because she was in the room about 20 minutes before class started. I feel the instructor should allow people to drink water when they need it because it can help if someone is overheating. I urged her to leave the room and let her out. It took another 70 minutes before she could leave the building due to dizziness and lightheadedness. I went back for another 30 minutes before I left again due to its intensity and to check on my cousin. I wanted to come back in, especially for the floor exercises, but didn't want to disturb the class. I recommend a 45-minute class for beginners. I have very flat feet, which causes intense foot and ankle pain. The balancing exercises were difficult for my weak feet. However, I realized that some moves I had to modify or sit out. I enjoyed finally taking a yoga class, and I plan to work on home on the postures that I learned so that I can return.
Ooh, that is thoughtful.
I mean, that is just so thoughtful. It's a very thoughtful, well-written email. Feedback from somebody who came to our studios and wanted to let us know what she thought. The yoga that we do is very structured. It won't change. Most of what we tell the students to do, like drinking water or leaving the room, are sort of like encouragement to help them build some endurance. But it's by no means is it emphatic that you can't drink water, emphatic that you can't leave the room. It's just recommendations on how to keep people safe. And this is great feedback. I'm really grateful for it. I'm sorry that your experience was negative, but I'm really glad that you took the time to be thoughtful about your experience, and it helps me. Oh gosh, we just got 1 star for this one. My initial experience with the woman at the front desk was less than pleasant. I bet that was me.
It doesn't have a name there?
No, it doesn't say the name. It says the teacher's name, but that doesn't mean that was the person that she met with at the front desk. So I'm pretty sure that was me. I've had that kind of feedback before, but not so stark.
Why would you have that feedback, Jen?
Well, a lot of times the students that practice here, I know them very well and they know me. So we have that rhythm. And when someone comes in that's brand new, that I can be a little abrasive, I guess, and they're just meeting me for the first time. Maybe I was having a bad day. I don't know. I have those. I have bad days.
You're human.
I'm human. The rules are pretty strict.
So what would you say to this person?
I would say, I'm so sorry that I made you feel uncomfortable in my space. I hope the class made up for it. Thank you so much for coming back if you did, and for letting me know that I hurt your feelings. That really sucked. I'm sorry if I did that. So now we have a 3. The carpet is very smelly. Oh, remember the carpet, Michael? And lighting, not great. Class was good, but too long for my taste. But mainly the smell.
Oh.
A wood or laminate floor that can be cleaned would be so much better. Do you remember when you sat me down and told me we needed a new floor?
Oh, Jen. I mean, come on.
No, and I resisted.
Well, still,
I said Bikram yoga is carpet.
But we knew that. Well, that is because that's traditionally how
it
was done to
it's
be
so true.
So
true.
You don't get hurt. And so wood or laminate is very slippery.
Wood or laminate is so slippery. It's not safe.
Studio, it's tough. You got to be careful with that. And I'm sure the studios that have it, they manage it pretty well. They figure out ways. But we just thought the new floor that we have,
it's amazing.
That we have is great. It's grips.
It's right.
It doesn't smell.
It doesn't smell. It's easy to clean.
About 2 years now.
Well, the funny thing is that this review was written about a month before we had the rubber flooring installed. So I hope that one of us read this and contacted that person and said, "Thank you for that feedback. We've been getting it for tens of years as Bikram Yoga Studio owners."
Haven't been back.
No, I hope they have.
Dig for this feedback.
We did have to dig for some of this feedback. Yeah. So I will have to say, most of the feedback we get is enlighteningly positive.
It's very positive.
But I'm gonna finish with this one last one. That is a 0.5. Michael, how do you get a 0.5? How do I get a half a star? Wow. Okay, so this correlates, right? I got a 0.5 from somebody who was running. I ran 5 minutes late to class, and I got locked out in the rain.
In the rain?
Yeah. That's what she says.
In the rain.
She ran 0.5, or she ran 5 minutes late to class and got locked out in the rain.
Well, that 5 minutes got you that 0.5 star, Jen.
Yeah, it did. So yes, what I would say to you, who says that they were late and got locked out, is yes, that is exactly.
That's how it
yes.
works, right?
Exactly. You got locked out.
You have to be on time.
You must be on time.
We're sorry.
Yes, that's right.
That's just the way it is, though.
Yeah, to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is to be locked out.
Well, there we go. Is that why that
other
person may have thought you were rude, Jen?
Oh, it's possible because it's me. That's me. I'm just trying to give you a little bit of wisdom for the future. But I am sorry that you were locked out in the rain. I hope that you didn't walk all the way from the metro and were stuck in the rain walking back. But next time, maybe plan your day a little bit so that you show up on time. And thank you for the feedback. Thanks for letting us know. Okay, so now we've got some positive feedback, and I think you'll see that a lot of the negative stuff, the positive, they're very similar. They're really similar. So the first one, we got 5 stars. Yes, Felicia was welcoming and wonderful and acknowledged everyone in the class, even online, which was so nice. Felt like being there and being home.
Oh, Felicia.
I know, Felicia.
She did a good job.
She did. So she must have heard we must have processed that feedback that we got about not feeling engaging and our teachers heard it and they decided to be more inclusive and figured out how to be more inclusive. It really is a process.
Yeah,
you don't
because
just tell someone to be inclusive.
During the pandemic, we've had to switch gears. We've never taught yoga from home at home before.
No.
You know, like a live stream kind of thing. And so we're learning with everybody, right?
Right. It was absurd to think that we would offer hot yoga at home. It really did seem absurd until we had to, and then we figured it out. And actually, a lot of people like it. Okay, now we got 5 stars. Bikram Alexandria has been, in my experience, a solid force for many years and continues to attract excellent, caring instructors. As someone with several spine issues, this practice is fundamental. So thank you so much for that feedback, because that's why we do what we do. This is about healing the body. If you have injuries, come into the hot room, practice from home, and heal your body. Heal your body, heal your mind, and you heal your soul. So thank you so much. And it's all about the teachers. Always, always, always. The teachers are the ones that make all of this magic happen, for sure. All right, so there's 2 reviews. Now we've got a couple more. La, la, la. 5, another 5. The best teachers with a well-trained facility. You can't ask for more than that. Jen and Michael and the rest of the staff clearly working above and beyond to make it work during COVID. I feel privileged to be a student at BYA. So that's from a longtime student who has stayed with us through the pandemic. And that's just lovely to hear, because, you know, you can go other places, not a lot of other places, but it's just nice to know that he is coming out of his home and sharing his life with us, and felt, you know, like he wanted to tell us that. Thank you. Another 5. It's been a long time since I've been back to the yoga class. So here's somebody who came back, right? I found the teacher easy to follow, and she had cute humor. I really enjoyed the class. I liked how she kept reminding the students to hold their stomachs in. Yes, that's one of the tenets of Bikram Yoga. Suck your stomach in.
Absolutely.
This episode of Bikram Yoga brought to you by Suck Your Stomach In, a proud sponsor
The
of
more
Bikram.
you know.
The more you know.
Wait, are we allowed to do that? Are we allowed to have
Well, they can't see you.
to that? Oh,
I'm so sorry, copyrighted. 5, another 5. Inclusive. Details provided by the instructor and inviting. I think I could cry. That's like my favorite. Inclusive. I want people to know they can come here and they're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Inclusive. Thank you. That's a high compliment. Another 5. The class starts on time.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
I know. Sorry. But the class does start on time. The class starts on time and are well run. And I enjoy the slightly less formal style where there is the occasional chit chat, stories, individual advice, etc. I do wish that we could shower there at some point. That would change which class I could attend, and if I didn't have to go home right before I go to work.
Oh.
But that's probably a ways off. So that's the end of that review. But yeah, you're right. Thank you for that feedback. We are working towards doing the right things to remain compliant with the health department so that we can stay open here in Virginia. And I don't know about ways off. We really don't know what that means, but we'll be willing to open up the studio in a safe way when we feel like there's safety to encourage. So right now, yeah, you're going to have to go home and shower first, just for now. That's not forever. Okay, and then we have one more review, I think. Yes. Okay, one more, another 5. Everything about Bikram Yoga Alliance speaks awesome. Yes, the environment is so uplifting. The instructors are amazing, and I'm a better man physically, mentally, and spiritually because of the leadership. Thank you. That's wonderful. A better man. Men do yoga. Yes, they do. And Michael's a man.
Yes.
And the fact that the environment is uplifting, especially in a time when we're seeking to find uplifting leadership. Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Michael's a man.
Michael's a man. No, I meant men do yoga. Our studio is quite diverse. And I would say that any given class, it's maybe 30% men practicing. So
it is. I think we get more men than a lot of other yoga studios.
We do. I think we do. So, I mean, it could very likely just be the yoga itself is so challenging. So it feels like you're not doing nothing. And, I want to speak to those people who said that it's not a beginner practice. I understand where you're coming from because it's intense, but to begin something is intense. To start fresh with something you never did before is intense. And a beginner is welcome to come in and do that. And if you're brave enough, you just keep coming back and seeing. So I loved what you said at the end of that review, that you're going to go home and you're going to try and figure out the posture so that you can come back, because you are welcome. You begin, you continue, and then you end. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. See you next Tuesday.